Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another original content video. And today we are doing the 7 levels of R&B. I have redid this video about 4 times. Hopefully this is the one that goes. Hopefully this is one that I do to my liking, because I've redone this like multiple times. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's get right into this. This is the 7 levels of R&B, man. It don't get no crazier than this. This is going to be my own personal biased take. So if you see an artist in here who you don't believe doesn't belong in a certain level, I don't give a shit. You can leave them down in the comment section below. I appreciate the engagement, but quite honestly, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, man, here we are, man. 7 levels of R&B, man. Level 1 being the lowest, level 7 being the highest. Without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? At level 1, trash. That's right, we starting off in trash. These are the booty dust particles of R&B, bruh. And it don't get no worse than this, bruh. You can't go no lower than trash. You can't. It's impossible. So in the trash tier, I know y'all see some faces that y'all probably don't agree with. I don't care. Y'all can bring up their hits. I don't care. I feel like they're trash.
Hey, let me see.
The fuck? Yeah. I don't like their music. I think that they just overall trash. I think they need to stop making R&B music and need to focus on something else. Then we have the no range category. These are pretty much the one sound, one tone, same everything. Now, these are the ones that can get away with it, but I'm pretty sure, but they have to remember, they do have to make an album at some point. And when you make an album, right, you expect to hear some vocal acrobatics when it comes to songs. You expect to hear something different for every song that makes every song sound different. You're not going to get that with these guys. These are the guys that are just going to give you the same thing over and over and over again. And you're just going to sit there and you're going to go, you know what? Track 1 sound like track 5. Track 5 sound like track 2. You know, you're gonna get that type of thing, and you're just gonna be like, you know what, this is a snooze fest. I don't even know why this person even tried. They can't sing Say Their Life anyway. Why? And then last but not least, we have wrong lane. And what I mean by wrong lane, I mean the people that just think they can sing, or think that engineers, producers, and auto-tune can get them a R&B hit. It's like, no, stay in your lane. This is for the Nicki Minaj's, the Lil Waynes, the Young Thugs. You know what I'm saying? I could point out so many fucking rappers that do this, but it's like we be here all day. So I'm just gonna point out them 3 as the main culprits for being in the wrong lane. And hopefully they get the idea that R&B is not for you. If you a rapper, be a rapper. Nobody want to hear you harmonizing about how you will pull the switch out and shoot a nigga. Nobody wants to hear that. When it comes to R&B, we trying to hear something a little different over here. That ain't it. Stay in your lane. Mid. When it comes to level 2, there are some there's some bright spots, but I wouldn't jump up and down with joy about those bright spots, because let's be for real, when it comes to being a one-hit wonder, is it really that great to be a one-hit wonder? I mean, come on, man. You got that one hit, it goes nuclear, it goes global, it's everywhere, it's infectious, it's timeless. But that's the thing, it's just one hit. It's one thing when you can do that once. Can you do it twice? Can you do it 3 times? Can you do it for a whole album? Can you do it can you go on a 3 album run and do that again and capture that every single time? No, of course you can't. And that's why one hit wonders are just what they are, one hit wonders. And then we have the studio artists. Now these will fall into the same category as the no range R&B singers, but let's be for real. The producers and the engineers, they saving this individual's voice. They're saving their voice. They're making them sound like something that they're not, and then they get up on that stage and then they got to have their song in the background because it's the only thing that's going to save them from getting exposed. Even though you can kind of hear them being off tone, but having the song in the background saves them. And then we have the writer, the producer, and the background singer. Now look, when it comes to the background singer, the producers and the writers, listen, sometimes it's best to be in the background. Maybe you're just not meant for the spotlight. Maybe your voice, maybe it's your presence, maybe you just don't fit what the song is talking about. Maybe it's good that you make songs for other people because they can tap into that emotion a lot better than you can, and to the listener they can be a lot more believable. But when it comes to you, it's best to just stay in your lane, and that's be in the background. And another thing too about this situation, while we're on the topic of this, it's mainly like you gave somebody your sound, then you tried to do your sound after you gave it to somebody else. Don't you think that's kind of contradictory? Don't you think that's just going to expose the fact that don't you think that's just going to expose the fact that, hey, this person's a clone of this person, but no, he wrote them hits or she wrote them hits. So still a clone. If you want to come out and do your own thing, that's fine, but find your own lane. Clearly you're not meant for this, and that's why you're at the level you're at. And maybe, just maybe, you need to stay where you're at. Not everybody can be a Neo. Not everybody can be a Carrie Hilson. It's best to just stay in your lane. That's all I'm saying. Level 3, mid. Listen, man, when it comes to mid, you're not good, you're not bad. You're consistent, okay? You're consistent, you're safe. We know what we're gonna get out of you. And it's not going to be good sometimes, and it's not going to be bad a lot of times. You put out some good content every now and again, but for the most part, we're not really checking for it. But if it sounds nice, we'll give it a listen. You feel me? And when it comes to mid, the definition of mid in R&B has to go to Ciara by far.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
I'm sorry, but I have to say it, bro. Ciara is the complete definition of fucking mid, okay? She is safe. She is consistent. You know what you're getting from her. But, man, there's no growth. There's no taking that next step. We just know what we're getting out of you, and we know where your lane is. You're not pushing yourself. You're not going out of pocket or nothing like that. You're just staying in your lane, doing you. Perfectly fine. Then we have the entertainer. Now, the entertainer doesn't have to be the one that dances across the stage and puts on the show, putting out acrobats and fucking dance montages, dance breakdowns during the song and fireworks and all that in the background. No, this could also mean somebody that really you're an entertainer, but you're just a better entertainer in another field. Maybe you're a good podcaster. Maybe you're a good radio personality. Maybe you're a good TV actor or a Hollywood big screen actor. Maybe you fit in those lanes. Maybe you're a voice actor. You know, maybe you're better off as a model. You know, you entertain in other ways than the main thing that we kind of knew you for from the beginning. And that doesn't take away from your greatness. It just, Well, it kind of does, but at the same time, it's like, hey, man, you got them hits that we used to like, but we ain't checking for your music, dog. But I like you on that one show though, or I like you on that one radio station, or I like you on that one podcast though. You be doing your thing, keep doing your thing over there. And last but not least, the overhyped. Now listen, I know y'all see Rihanna, and I know this is one I'm gonna have to explain to people. I have felt this way for quite some time now when it comes to Rihanna. When it comes to Rihanna, I'm not saying that she's a bad artist in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that she's a bad artist. But why is she at level 3? Let me explain. Shut up. Let me explain.
Man, this is some bullshit. Boo this man.
The reason why she's in level 3 is because, let's be for real, when it comes to her R&B bag, it don't hit like her pop shit do. Her pop shit goes nuclear. It goes number one. It goes global. Now, when it comes to her R&B shit, it can be up there. It could be at like number 6, number 7, be in the top 5 even. But if she puts some pop shit out, it's going to overtake what that R&B shit was doing, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I feel like as an R&B artist, she's overhyped. But as a pop artist, I feel like that's her lane. I feel like she's more of a pop artist than a R&B artist. I put her in that same field with the Britney Spears, the Justin Timberlakes. I feel like you more suited as a pop star than you are as an R&B star, because when you put your R&B shit out, yeah, it's good, it sounds good, but it don't do the numbers that your pop shit do. So that's why I feel like she's overhyped in the R&B spectrum, because I don't really consider her R&B. I consider her more pop, and that's just me. But she does have some R&B hits that go crazy every now and again, but they just don't do what her pop shit does. And I stand on that, and I will die on that hill.
Hey, dog. I hate to be the one to break it to you.
Very bad news.
Get this shit the fuck out of here and get you the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck up out of here with that bullshit. Get off the motherfucking mic.
You need to leave.
Rihanna in the R&B spectrum is mid. I said what the fuck I said. Now, what happens when you take the first 3 levels and combine them together? You get level 4. Groups. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have moved on to groups. These are some of the most, this is honestly a very essential part of R&B, if we're being honest. This is an essential part of R&B, if you ask me. They're essential, meaning without them, you don't get a lot of the stars that you get out of these groups, or you don't get a lot of the gems and hits that you got in the R&B genre if it wasn't for groups. Groups are a great thing for R&B, probably one of the best things for R&B. The sad thing is they don't do them no more, sadly. I wish they would, but they don't. Now, obviously, we have to start off with duos. I can't name that many duos off the top of my head, but I know there's plenty throughout the history of R&B that have gone on to make the genre as big as it is. So I can't really speak too much on duos, but they're definitely a great starting point or a great break off. There could be a break off from a big group that was a group of 4 or 5, and 2 of them just decided to go their own lane and do their own thing, and they can't turn out successful. Some of them could be family members. Some of them could have been 2 artists who just said, I like your music, man. I like your music too. Let's link up and let's do something crazy.
What did he say?
Hey! What you talking about? What's going on over here?
Hey, what the fuck?
Hey, yo!
I like when you like this, daddy.
And they go out here and they give you greatness. You never know. Then you have the kid groups. Now, I hate to call them kid groups because some of these groups do grow into adults. Some of them don't make it past their teenage years, and some of them started off as teenagers and ain't really considered kid groups, but because they're under the age of 18, they're considered minors, which makes them kids.
When you say teenage, how are we talking?
So, yeah, when it comes to the kid groups, man, obviously some of these groups, they can break out, make it past their teenage years, and then go into adulthood, and really and has a fan base that grows with them. Then you have some kid groups that just fizzle out. They have their moment in the sun. They probably make it to the second or third album, but for the most part, a lot of these kid groups don't even make it past their first album, sadly. And it could be due to money. It could be due to certain members not wanting to do this entertainment thing anymore, or they just fizzled out after they just didn't work out. It's just that simple. And then we have the urban groups. These are the groups I feel like are some of the most underappreciated and most underrated groups to ever exist. I think that these are probably one of the more iconic groups, but due to the powers that be and the structures that you know I'm getting at.
What they put on your sandwich? Too much goddamn mayonnaise.
They don't fit the mold to be at certain award shows. They don't fit the mold to get awards and accolades that some of these other groups get. And it turns out that some of these groups are better than that group. But the urban groups, in my personal opinion, I feel like they deserve their flowers, man. I feel like they really do. They're probably some of the most underrated, underappreciated. Some of them are more some of them have bigger legendary legacies than some groups in the iconic section, which brings us to the iconic section of the group. Now these would be, you know, your obviouses, your Destiny's Childs, your TLCs, your Boys to Men, your New Editions. You know, this would be where you would find your iconics at. I feel like Jodeci belongs in this as well, but I know that a lot of people will say, nah, Jodeci, you know, they had their little run every now and again, but they ain't all that now. But I digress though. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. It is what it is. I think that Jodeci belongs in the iconic, but obviously they will get placed in the urban because not that many people care for them. Well, from a worldwide perspective, not that many people would care for them, but I think if the culture had it their way, we would definitely put them in iconic tier. That's just me though. But groups are definitely essential to R&B, and they play a big role in the next level. Level 5, talent. Now, when it comes to level 5, this is where we get to the good shit. No more mid, no more trash, no more one range, no more experimentals, no more one-hit wonders. This is where you get some of the best going forward.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
And at level 5, it only goes up from here. You got the talented, the breakouts, the dual threat. Now let's start off with the talented. Now I know a lot of people are gonna feel some type of way about Aaliyah being in level 5, but hear me out. Is 3 albums really enough to say that Aaliyah is up there? I'm just saying, is level 5 enough to say that Aaliyah is up there? Is she up there in that upper echelon with the level 6s and 7s? You know, the people that paid their dues, broke out, had number 1 hits on top of number 1 hits. And is Aaliyah up there with them, or are we just still under the grieving of Aaliyah and not really looking at the body of work? That's all I'm saying. I'm looking at the body of work, and the body of work says she's good but not great. She's good, but not great. She hasn't reached the pinnacles that some of the other artists have reached, but she's definitely up. But she's definitely on the cusp or borderline there, but just not there.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
Then we have the breakouts. When it comes to the breakouts, these could be your artists that been sitting in the background just waiting on their moment to shine, and then they finally get their moment to shine and they blow up and break out. Or these could obviously be the ones that were part of a group and broke out on their own, i.e. Beyonce, i.e. Bobby Brown. That's pretty much the breakouts. And then for the dual threat, listen, I just want to give T-Pain his flowers, but I feel like T-Pain is a dual threat. Let's not act like from 2006 to 2009 or 2009, you couldn't have a #1 hit without this man on it, regardless of whether it was a hip hop track or R&B track. You needed T-Pain. Let's not forget, this man got nominated at an award ceremony where he was a feature on every single song.
So here are the nominees for Best Collaboration.
Chris Brown featuring T-Pain. Flow Riders featuring T-Pain. Love. DJ Khaled featuring Young Jeezy, Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, Big Boy, Lil Wayne, Fat Joe, Birdman, Rick Ross, and T-Pain. I'm So Hood. Kanye West featuring T-Pain. Good Luck.
And the winner is Kanye West and T-Pain. Let's go. This day. To this day. To this day.
Did we forget that? I think you forgot that. But no, man. Yeah. The dual threat, it just doesn't have to equate to T-Pain. It can also equate to, people who produce, people who perform, people who can produce, perform, and sing their own hits. You know what I'm saying? This is where you will find the Neos. You know what I'm saying? This is where you will find them at. The Neos and all them that can write their own hits, but can also produce and perform their own hits as well. Level 6, superstars. Now, when it comes to superstars, this is where you find some of the best of the best. It's where you find your trendsetters, chart toppers, Super Bowl headliners. This is where you find the cream of the crop right here. This is where you find yourself. This is where you find the artists that pretty much control your playlists or control or dominate the radio, even with hits as old as like 20, 30, 40 years old. This is where you would find them at. These are the ones right here. These are the ones right here. Obviously, you have to start off with your trendsetters. Now, your trendsetters, that could be the R&B soul of the 80s, the new jack swing of the early 90s, the urban takeover of the mid 90s, the neo soul of the late 90s and early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? These are the ones that changed the game and built their own lane for the future to build off of. They set the blueprint pretty much. Then you have your chart toppers. These are pretty much, what more do you have to say? These are the ones who are gonna get non-stop radio play. They're gonna be promoted on your streaming service apps. You know, they finna do 1 million views for a music video. You know what I'm saying? Billions upon billions of views for a music video. You already know how they coming into the game. And then obviously got the divas. Now I just wanted to show some love to the women of R&B on this one. Nothing too specific here. I feel like they need their flowers as well. They pretty much laid the groundwork for the rest of the females that come up in the game. You feel me? You know, your Mariahs, your Marys, your Tony Braxtons, your Janet Jacksons, Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Freaky frog! You're a freaky frog! Fucking freaky frog! You're a freaky frog!
But yeah, most definitely the divas, they definitely are the trendsetters for the women. And then obviously there's the superstar. Now this is pretty much in conjunction with the divas, but I just wanted to give the divas their own flowers. I just want to give the women their own flowers. But the superstar in general, this is pretty much the one that can headline the Super Bowl. This is the one that's gonna always get nominated at the Grammys. This is the one that's gonna always, when they go out and do it, when they announce that they're doing a tour, it sells out immediately. These are the ones right here. These are the ones that are pretty much all of that, pretty much carry all of these. The trendsetter, the chart topper, they carry all of this. And that's why they in the level that they at. And I know what you're thinking right now. It shouldn't go no higher than this. But wait, it does. Level 7. R&B icon. Now when it comes to the icons, there's only three categories that belong up here at the top of the top. Because this is the top of the top, the creme de la creme. And there's only three categories that belong in this at this level. The pioneers, the legends, and obviously the icons. Now when it comes to the pioneers, they're the ones who pretty much, you know, set the foundation. You know, they invented and put the soul into R&B. They put they put the love, the funk, the everything into R&B, and they deserve their flowers. I'm talking about the Arifas, the Marvin Gayes, the James Browns, the Stevie Wonders, the Sam Cookes. They all played a big role in setting the foundation for what R&B is supposed to be. And the ones that follow would obviously be the legends, the ones that pretty much carried on their legacies and built upon them and made them probably even 10 times better than what they expected them to be. You know, that's where you will find your Whitney Houstons, your Beyoncés, your Ushers, and I know it's controversial to put them in here, but you can't deny the man's greatness. You know, your R. Kelly's, obviously, I know we shouldn't be celebrating this man, but we got to give the man his flowers for his contributions to R&B. No way, shape, or form is that man not an icon and a legend in his own right in this genre known as R&B. Can't hold him out. Can't keep him out. Sorry, but you can't keep him out. Can't.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And last but not least, the R&B icon, the one and only, the top of the top, the creme de la creme, the one who stands at the mountaintop by themselves. None other than the late great Michael Jackson. Obviously, for obvious reasons, we have to put him up there. I mean, don't get no bigger than Mike, you know. So yeah, when we talking icons, what are we talking about? It's just, who else is on that on top of pedestal? Who's on top of that mountain outside of Mike? Exactly. But anyways, though, that just gonna about do it for this one. That is the 7 levels of R&B. Pretty sure this may take some while to get out there, but I'm trying to make this as good as I can make it. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Drop down in the comment section what categories or what artists you feel belong at certain levels. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all gonna feel some type of way about artists being in certain levels, but hey, it's my video, it's my personal opinion, it's my own bias. I feel this is how I feel, and I'm gonna keep it that way. I don't make videos for the general public because I don't care for the general public. I make videos with my own take on it because it's my video, okay? If that makes sense.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you on the next one. Till then, deuces.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
What? It's just an ordinary Krabby. Oh my goodness!
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You's an odd ass nigga. My grandpa. Oh, my grandpa, you weird as hell. You's a freaky ass nigga. Fuck you mean? Get your freaky ass on. You know you freaky. On my dead grandma, and you can see me about it. Don't come over here with this, that freaky ass, sick ass shit, your little freaky ass. Freaky bitch. Freaky frog. You freaky, you a freaky frog. You fucking freaky frog. You a freaky frog.
Gotta know exactly who you are. Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Don't play. Say something else. I'll take more than that, nigga. I want some ass. Nigga, I ain't had no pussy. I settle for some butt. Keep it up. Keep it up, here. Let this weenie get hard.